Hi everybody, this is a quick video to show you how to take through Design Space these two new SVGs. You get them both in one purchase and they make a lovely book-shaped box for either 6 or 8 wax melt snap bars. I say book-shaped, they open and close like a book and you've got a box on either side of that open book which holds the snap bars. So I'll bring in the one that holds 6 bars altogether first. Okay, so there it is on my canvas now, and as usual with any multi-part SVG that's got score lines, your first job is to convert all those lines that come in as cuts but which should actually be scores. And in my SVGs, they always live in that first subgroup in your layers panel. If a multi-part SVG with scores has been saved correctly, it should come into Design Space in 3 groups. There'll be the overall group that contains everything, and you can open and close it because you can see that little downward pointing arrow there which indicates that it is a group as well as that symbol. And then within that group there should be 2 subgroups, and the top one should contain all your score lines so that they're nice and quick and easy to select and convert, and the second one should have all your cuts in it. I think there's a new feature now, isn't there, where if something's not in the right group, you can easily just click on it and drag it into the right one. That's really useful now. So if you do ever buy an SVG and things are all mixed up, that's an easy way for you to sort it out within your layers panel. But with this one, you don't have to. So you're just going to click on the name of that first subgroup. If you just click on the name of it, it's the second line down in your layers panel. It selects everything within the group. Then you're going to go to your operations menu, click where it says basic cut and go down to score. And you can see that they've been converted now. And while they're still selected, go back to your layers menu, up at the top and click ungroup. If you're working on the mobile app, obviously these commands will be somewhere else, probably along the bottom of your screen, but these are the names of the commands that you're looking for. Second step is to select that other subgroup which contains all the cuts and all the little tiny cuts within them. Just click on the name of it, it selects everything in the group, and all we need to do there is ungroup. And there will be some tiny little extra groupings in there. For instance, this one is just the tiny slots on the tuck-in lid. You know where you've got that tiny little cut just to make it sort of click into place when you close it. They're usually grouped to the shapes in my SVGs because otherwise you can not pick them up sometimes when you're attaching. So I tend to group them. So don't worry about those. They can stay like they are. And then the third major ungroup is to select absolutely everything on screen. Quickest way to do that is to click on the name of that final group. You can also use the select all button. You can also use drag a box to enclose it, or you can use Control A on your keyboard. Whichever way you do it, once it's selected, just do that third ungroup. So now everything's a separate piece. All the scores are separate. You need to just now attach the scores to the piece that they relate to, and I think the quickest way to do that is to click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to enclose it, and then go back over to your layers panel and choose attach from the bottom, and again on the mobile app that'll be somewhere else. And you can see then that when you pick it up everything moves together. If you don't attach it, your scores will move, and more to the point they will cut on a mat on their own, and you absolutely don't want that. So we'll just put that back over there and we'll attach those, and finally attach the box outer. So what this box consists of, it's like 2 pockets which fold up. You do get a PDF of assembly instructions, don't worry about that. They fold up and then they stick on each of these sides, and then the whole thing folds up and fastens with a ribbon or something through these little circle cuts there. So we'll send it to make it. Don't worry about that, you don't need to remember it. You do get, as I say, a PDF of instructions with photographs to help you with assembly. They're very simple to make. So we're going to choose A3. You do need the long mats for this project because this outer wrap is about 34 centimeters long. So you're going to need A3 or Ledger or Tabloid if you're in the US, and your long mat for that one. And then these inner boxes, they will actually cut from A4. So if you wanted to make those out of a contrasting colour or in a lovely patterned print, you can choose 12 by 12 or A4 there and cut those separately on the standard mat. But if you're cutting it all out of the same thing like I did, just choose A3, and this whole box cuts from 2 sheets of A3. And in actual fact, I'm pretty sure, let's just check that. 14.1, yes, you would get 2 of those on 1A3 if we just put those together. Yes, easily. You get 2 of those off 1A3. So 3 sheets of A3 would give you 2 of those boxes. Okay, so that's it. That's it for that one. I'm going to delete that because I'm not going to make it. And we'll bring in the 8-bar box. So this one has a pocket to take 4 snap bars on either side of the box. So it's the same procedure. We need to click on that first subgroup, just the name of it, to select everything within it. Go to your operations menu and choose score, and while they're still selected, it's really important that you ungroup them. Lots of people miss these little ungrouping steps and then they end up with a project that's too big to cut. So it's really quite important to remember those. Second step, do that second ungroup of all the cut things. So click on the name of that subgroup with all the cut pieces in it and ungroup. And the third step, select everything on screen and ungroup it a third time. 3 ungroups, ideally in that order: score lines, cut pieces, the whole SVG. And so now everything's separate and we can just attach the scores to the piece they relate to. So again, you're just going to click on canvas somewhere near a piece, drag a box to enclose it and choose attach. And you need to do that for each piece on screen that's got scores. So now we'll click make it. This is a slightly bigger box because obviously it's wider to take 4 bars rather than 3. But you can still cut the outer wrap from A3 or Ledger or Tabloid if you're in the US. These will also still cut from A4. So that's quite good that you just switch the orientation and they still cut from A4. But because this one is wider, if you chose A3 for those like I did, I cut it all out of the same material. Yeah, I'll just show you that. You can either rotate it on the mats and move them on the mats, or you can just rotate these two, align them horizontally and attach them, because they will easily cut from 1A3, obviously, as you can see from the size there. So you'll just choose A3 and they'll both cut on A3. But in this case, the whole box takes 2 A3s on its own, because as I say, this one is too wide to fit 2 on an A3. But again, you've got 2 more snap bars in there, so it's warranted really. The cost is warranted. Okay, I'm not going to cut that, so I'm going to press cancel. They're super easy, aren't they? As I said, you do get a PDF of assembly instructions, but they're a quick and easy make, these. I think they probably actually do take a little bit of practice, because this is a box where there's no back to it. To try and be more economical with paper, these pockets that the snap bars sit in, they have no back to them. A little bit like the boxes that sit on the walls of the explosion boxes. So you sort of just fold them around to make that back frame, and then you stick that back frame on the wall. That can be a little bit fiddly until you get the hang of it, but it's really not difficult. It's just a case of once you've made it a couple of times, you'll be sailing. If you've got any more questions when you come to build it or cut it, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can contact me on Etsy or Facebook. The links to do so are in the description below. And if you just stumbled across this SVG and you think you might like to buy it, or at least see more information about it, the link for that is also in the description below. Thanks a lot. Bye.